I have a question on a little similar to this. I have Ketu in Vishnu, and it's a little hard to understand that. I mean, you're really used to transformation in some way, but you're not supposed to trans to be into transformation, so you have to transform into it's very
Well, see what's
dual
happening
or
here. Okay,
contradictory.
remember, Rahu always, we say the proof is in the pudding, right?
Yeah.
Rahu's the pudding. So we're doing all this shit at K2. And then we go to the pudding Rahu and we see if what we're doing is working. So with Ketu and Vishnu and Rahu and Aryama and Earth sign, I'm doing all this inner transformation, I'm doing all this inner work. Is it working? What's my material life like? What's my companionship like? A huge part, the biggest part of the material life of Aryama is our companion. If we've done the inner work and it's working successfully and we're doing that transformation, we're going to have a solid, reliable companion as part of our material life, right? A good material companion is a material asset, right? It's the most valuable material asset are the people in our lives. There's other material assets, and Aryama has to do with all of those, of course. But the most valuable one is a living being, So we go over to the Rahu and we see how well am I pulling this off, right? And that's the pudding, Rahu, basically. How good of a job am I really doing with the Ketu position?
Right. But
Yeah.
the safe space for a Ketu in Vishnu is like constantly breakdowns, right?
The safe place is dealing with the emotional problems, dealing with emotional problems. But if the material problems aren't changing, if the companionship isn't getting better, then they're not really dealing with the emotional problems. They just think they are. That's the thing with Ketu. Ketu is where we get stuck running around an empty castle, dusting it, saying we're getting a lot done around here. Or running around a full castle and dusting it. It's like, all right, I'm doing the same thing again. It feels good. I love being in this castle. But is it really changing my life? Well, we look at the Rahu to see if it is. And it feels great to fall back into the K2 house. I mean, it feels like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is making me happy, But then, the reality is we have to go towards the Rahu, And again, we go back and forth. We overdo Rahu, get our asses kicked, go back to Ketu, recover for a while, and, live in that world excessively. And as we go, we kind of create an equilibrium. And it just takes time. So it's like there's a judgment, but ultimately there should be a balanced equilibrium and functionality with both of those places. And let's say you've got the Lord of Ketu good and the Lord of Rahu trashed, right? That means you're always going to somehow make bad pudding. The pudding's always not going to be what you need it to be. But Rahu and Ketu are fulcrum points of the entire chart. The same way that the first and seventh house are fulcrum points of the entire chart, right? So if we get over to Rahu and we mucked it up, that means everything that was wrong anywhere in the chart came into that pudding, right? At the end of the day, what the Rahu pudding is in all the ingredients of all the other planets, right? Including Ketu. So these planets are always working on the holistic development of the being. So any problems in our chart will manifest in the Rahu house. Okay, to some degree is what the point I'm making. It's holistic because it's caused by the conjunction of the sun and moon. That's our complete being. The sun creates the 12 signs, right? The moon creates the 27 nakshatras. That's the whole chart coming together at this intersection point. So we can have a good or bad Rahu house and still experience some problems in there until we resolve all the planets, all the other planets. You understand? Okay. Now, when we have a troubled Ketu or a troubled Rahu, it means the castle or the jungle is extremely challenging, extremely, extremely difficult. But say the rest of the chart is great, But at least we're not, say we got a terrible Rahu, but the rest of the chart is great. At least we're not bringing too much trouble into the jungle. The jungle sure is a friggin' nightmare, but at least we're not showing up with we're not bringing a lot of trouble to the jungle, right? Another person can have a really nice Rahu Lord, right? But their planets are all trash. So the jungle's really nice. Oh, the jungle is so nice. And they bring all this shit to the jungle and burn it down, you know? So remember this about Rahu and Ketu. These are always integrative points. I need to write myself a note on that. Okay. All right. So, so that's what's happening. And Rahu's the pudding of our entire life, you know, which means everything comes together there. And so we have to learn to analyze. How much was it because I brought trouble into the jungle, meaning all my planets? And how much was it just because my jungle is a trouble? And your jungle is inside yourself too, you know? So, and then everything gets added to it to help that jungle or hinder it even worse.
Thank you.
You bet. Good question.